Hello, we are going to take a look at the VB-MAPP assessment today and chat a little bit more about what that is and what it entails. This is one that is newer to me and I'm not as familiar with it. So if I say anything incorrectly and you are a pro at this, you are welcome to correct me. I am here to learn and grow as well. But I'm going to give you my suggestions and feedback based on what I've done with it. Here we go. So the VB-MAPP is the Verbal Behavior Milestones Assessment and Placement Program. So this is ABA very heavily focused. A lot of the things that they ask students to do is manned and tact, and that's either give me or point to, right? So if you have this kind of booklet, this is the booklet you probably are familiar with. Mine is very old and falling apart, so I'm going to try not to pick it up a whole lot. But then there's also the guide. The guide is where you will get all of your directions of scoring, how to give a student a score, all those things. So let me see if I can go in here and try to find, great. Yeah, this is definitely falling apart. So for the sake of things, I'm going to find one of the pages that is falling apart. Okay, so this is the level one. We're going to do level one in. Oh, yeah, literally the first ones is manned and tact. Let's see if I can grab those first. I'm not trying to waste time here, I promise. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, we are going to go, yeah, imitation. I almost said intimidation. Imitation. Let's see if I can go through this one. This is 3M. Great. Motor imitation. Great. Okay, so I'm going to go to my motor imitation. This is my guide. And then this is my booklet. Again, booklet, guide, and I'm going to put them literally next to each other. It'll tell you imitate 8 motor movements, 2 of which involve objects, shaking a maraca, tapping sticks together. So you need materials. So it'll tell you ahead of time. So the first request is imitates 2 gross motor movements when prompted to do this, clap your hands, raise your arms, that kind of thing. So then they get 1 point if they imitate at least 6 motor movements presented by the adult and can imitate 2 adult motor behaviors involving the objects. So there's your 8. So depending on if they can use with objects or just like, and if they clap their hands with you, or if you, I don't know, raise the roof. If they do that, or if you stand up, if you sit down, will they follow those things? But you also get a half point, so they can either get half points or full points. Give the child a half point if he imitates 6 behaviors of any type. So they get half points if that. So if they follow a direction, but it's not your direction, or it's not what you had asked them, they still get a half point for those. So again, the guide is your helpful tool to go through and the levels. So I guess another question I feel like I always get is, do you have to start at level 1? So there's level 1, there's level 2, level 3, the barriers assessment, and transition assessment. And I thought there was one more. Maybe I'm wrong. Barriers. No, that's it. Okay. Maybe it's the barriers I was thinking of. No, you don't need to start at level 1 if you do not feel that your student is at level 1. If you're like, Heather, somebody's going to laugh at me if I have a student clap their hands and I have them do that. Fine, then don't do that. Do something else. So the level 1 is 0 to 18 months. So if you have a student who is working on some of those more foundational skills, that's where you would start. Otherwise, the level 2 is 18 to 30 months of abilities. But let's see an example of one of those. Select the correct ball from a messy array of 6 or 40 objects, or 40 different objects or pictures. Like find the cat, touch the ball. If they can do those types of things, then keep going. Again, read through these, try to figure out what might be best. And then level 3 is 30 to 48 months. Spontaneously mans for different verbal information, using a WH question word at least 5 times. So that's the level 3. So that's text with 4 different prepositions, in, out, on, and under. So there's lots of different things here that could be assessed. And then, of course, that barriers assessment is even those, oh yeah, there's the early echoic skills assessment. I thought there was one more. I'm like, there's another one. So that's even beforehand, like babbling, talking. So that's some of those that are in there. So anyways, the barriers assessment is any of those like prerequisite skills to the level 1. So if you have a student even before level 1, a lot of the barriers will help you get through that. And so you can kind of score and be like, hey, where are we at? What is that actually looking like? And then of course, if you have any adults or working towards transition age, you can use the transition assessment as well. Hold on, I know it's in here somewhere. I think it might be in the middle. Yep, I just passed it. So the transition assessment has the same thing. There is scoring forms for all of them. So of course you do the 0s or the 3s. Or sorry, 0s or half points or the 1 whole point for those, and then kind of tally up how much they've gotten. I think that is all. I know I kind of ran through that, but honestly, go through and decide what is best for your students, and what level they're really at, and test them as you need to. And then, of course, finding those deficits of what's the lowest scores, what are the half scores, what are the 0s, and that's where you can pull IEP goals for. So again, I know I ran through that very quickly. I hope that was helpful just to kind of see and hear the thought process of like how to find things and what to do. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to comment below and I will answer anything that I can.